Yo, what's going on, everybody? If you don't have conversion tracking on your Google ads or your Facebook ads, it's kind of like not keeping score at the Super Bowl. Are you playing for fun or are you playing to win? Having goal tracking is fundamental in all of your paid advertising, because if you don't have it set up, you don't know whether or not your ads are working or not. When you don't have conversion tracking up, you're stuck with going off of, click-through rates or cost per click and things like that. Those are all vanity metrics, which basically means that you can't directly tie them to revenue, and therefore you have no idea if your numbers you're getting are actually good or not. Okay, so today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to set up goal tracking in Google Analytics and then link that to your Google AdWords, so every single time an actual conversion happens on your website, you know that it is associated with your Google ads, to get rid of any ambiguity on whether or not your paid advertising is actually doing what it's supposed to. A couple other reasons why you really just need to set up conversion tracking is because you can't optimize your Google ads if you don't have it set up. And same with Facebook ads. If you don't have conversion tracking set up, you're not using the algorithm to its full ability, because what it's built to do is to learn from the data and optimize based on that. So if you don't have conversion set up, you're basically not allowing Google or Facebook to understand the types of people that you want it to show your ads to. Okay, so in just a second here, I'm going to share my screen. And what we're going to do today is walk through the different types of conversions that you can set up in Google Analytics. And guys, let me preface this, but this is really easy. You don't have to be a techie or understand Google Analytics or even AdWords to set this up. I'm going to show you. It literally takes 5 minutes. It's really easy. Okay, so I encourage you to even do it as I'm walking through it. I'll do it really slow. But if you have any questions about any of this or need help setting up your conversion tracking on your website, feel free to comment on this video or just message me. I'm here with Jack Wong, who was kind enough to let me record this session to set up his conversion tracking. Cool. Jack, you got any questions about any of this before I dive in, dude?
All right, go ahead, beast.
All right, let's do it. Okay, share my screen. Boom. Okay, so me personally, I set up all my tracking in Google Analytics because it's really, really easy. If you set up conversion tracking in Google AdWords, that's where you get pulled into Google Tag Manager and you have to deal with snippets of code install on each page of your website, and it's a huge hassle. What makes it really, really easy with Google Analytics is that there's already a code embedded on every single page of your website. There's already data on it. So all you have to do to set up conversion tracking is just tell Analytics that this action on your page is important. You don't have to deal with code or anything like that. And then if you link your AdWords account with your Google Analytics, importing that data as conversion data in Google AdWords takes 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how to do it right now using one of the ebooks on Jack's website here. So the first thing that you really need to make sure that you do is make sure that your Google AdWords and Google Analytics is set up. So you're going to go into settings. That's on this bottom left-hand corner. Under properties, you're going to hit all products. And you can see here, Google AdWords is already linked. So there's nothing we need to do here. But if this wasn't already linked, this would just be a button. It would have you make sure, if assuming that you've used the same Google account, it just pull up your account right away, and linking it takes 2 seconds. Okay, so if we're already linked, we're going to go back into settings here and go to goals. Okay, goals is Google Analytics version of conversions. Okay, so any goal you set up, you can import as a conversion into your Google AdWords. Okay, you can see that I already set one up for every single time someone downloads Jack's sciatica ebook. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how to do this and walk you through the different types of conversions in Google Analytics. All right, so Google makes it pretty darn easy for everybody, if you're not really comfortable with a lot of the features in here, to set up these conversions. So if you use one of their templates, it's really simple. If you're an e-com store, they lay out, place an order, make a payment. If you're a software company or an online coach, you got create an account, which is really, really handy. But where most of you guys are going to be playing is in this inquiry space. That's the most frequently used conversion in Google AdWords and Google Analytics. And this basically just allows you to track form submissions or downloads on your website. So then I'm not going to cover this in the scope of this video, but you can also do engagement, like how many people that watched your videos, or how much time people spent on a page, or how many pages actually looked at while you're on your website. So those are all micro conversions that you can track as well. But again, not going to cover that in the scope of this video. Just to give you a deeper understanding of all of it, I'm going to kind of show you the custom approach to all this stuff so I can walk you through what all of it means. Okay, so I'm going to call this, and just to show you, this is going to show you the exact same thing no matter what. So I'm going to set up a download. And you just see, it takes me to the exact same screen. So just know that whether you hit custom or hit this, it's going to take you to the same place. This just makes it a little bit more specific for you by auto filling in what I'm going to fill in right here. Okay, so this is going to be knee pain ebook conversion. Okay, so goal and slot, you don't really have to worry about this at all. This is basically just for your goal tracking report on the homepage of Google Analytics, just so you can see just on a graph like which conversion is which. So you don't really need to worry about this. It'll already default to an open slot that you have available. All right, now when it comes to different types of conversions, you have 4. There's destination, which is the most commonly used, and what we're going to be setting up today, that basically uses a specific URL, and every single time that someone lands on that URL, you know a conversion happens. So this is for your thank you pages, okay? Or if there's a very important page on your website, like maybe you're hosting an event and you have a landing page on it, you can set this up, and maybe you know that if people view that page, that's a high quality thing that you want to track. So you can be pretty creative with how you do this. The next one is duration. Just if you know if someone's spending 3 to 5 minutes on your website, you know that they're definitely intrigued and they're looking for some information. That's someone that you definitely want to retarget with your ads. So you can set that up. And then there's other ones that are kind of event or engagement based, which is how many, if they're looking at multiple pages on your website, that could be really important. Then lastly, there's events like played a video, clicked a button, those sorts of things. So this is a way that you can track phone calls. If your, call your clinic button is clicked, here's where you can track it. Okay. So like I said, we're just going to stick with destination, really simple stuff. Okay. And now all you have to do, guys, this is how freaking easy this is. Okay. You just have to type in, let me pull up Jack's. All you have to type in here is the thank you page that you want tracked. You're not putting in the full URL, you're putting in the subdomain of that thank you page. So if you can't figure out what it is for you, just go opt in on your forms and then take the URL from the thank you page that you land on, okay? So there are a couple other options in here, but they're a bit more advanced. You don't really need to worry about them. Just do =2 for now. And now as long as someone lands on a page that has this subdomain, it's gonna track that conversion. So now one of the really important elements of doing this stuff is that, now that you can track this and link ad clicks to actual revenue, you can figure out, what the revenue per lead is and what the actual value per opt-in that you get. So this is a really important thing. This allows Google to basically optimize around this price, and then you can adjust your ad bids based on it. And it's a really key core element to having really successful and profitable Google ads. We don't have that information right now, so I'm just going to say it's worth $50. Okay, I'm just going to leave it blank because I don't want to mess up Jack's ads. So turn that off, and then funnels, guys. This is really helpful. So if you know that there's a certain sequence of pages that people need to go through in order to count that as a conversion, you can set this up here. And then in Google Analytics data, you can actually go and look at those funnel sets and see where people are dropping off and optimize your pages based on that. Okay. But Jack doesn't have a really, crazy funnel. And you don't want that. You don't want a lot of steps. You want it really simple. So for this one, it's just going to be knee pain page. Okay, and grab the URL from that page. And again, it's just a subdomain. It's not the whole. It's not the whole URL. Okay, so now I'm going to make this required. So because Jack, and like most people, he only has one thank you page. So no matter which form you opt in on, you go to the same thank you page. So by setting up this funnel step, we're saying that to only count this particular conversion, this knee pain ebook conversion, when someone lands on this knee pain page and hits this thank you page. So now that's how you're going to distinguish each conversion on whether it's a sciatica ebook or the knee pain ebook or neck pain ebook. This is how you're going to distinguish between all those and knowing which one is the most popular for your Google ads. Okay. So if you only have one thank you page, you have to do this. Otherwise, you're not going to have a lot of information on which one of these is really working and killing it for your Google ads. Okay. If you do, I highly, highly recommend everybody go in, create a thank you page for each and every form and downloadable lead magnet that you have. Because although it's easy to track each individual one with Google Analytics, if you're running Facebook ads, it doesn't work that way. You need to have a lead pixel on each individual one of those pages. Otherwise, in Facebook, every single lead is going to look the exact same. So you want a different thank you page for each one so that you know which ones you're getting conversions for. Okay. And people, like a lot of people don't want to set this stuff up, but you can't know whether your stuff is working or not if you don't do this. So you definitely want to do it. Okay. So now this is all set up. I went in and actually downloaded this from Tim's website. So we know that there's an actual conversion because you can actually verify it to make sure there's actually one that happened. So I did already do this. So it does see that there's already a conversion rate. It knows that I opted in today. So for this week, there's a 3.39% conversion rates on that particular page. Okay. So if this registers that there's no conversions yet, go to your website and opt in yourself just so you can verify that this conversion or this goal is set up the way it's supposed to be. So that's it. That's all you had to do to set up this goal. Okay. And now that it's set up, you can see that it's going, it's recording. And now all you have to do is go into your Google Analytics. Okay. This is the Google AdWords. I mean, you go in the Google AdWords dashboard, go up to tools and settings, go to conversions. And now all you have to do in order to start tracking that conversion through your Google ads is hit this plus button, import, Google Analytics, continue, and boom, got the knee pain ebook goal that we just set up. I'm going to import that. And now every single time someone clicks on one of Jack's Google AdWords ads and ends up downloading that, it's going to track it as a conversion. And now you can start optimizing your campaigns for each different conversion objective. Okay. So it's done. That was all you had to do to start tracking different downloads and form submissions on your Google ads. So you can determine whether or not they're profitable and actually doing what you're hoping they're doing for your business. So if you guys have any questions on how to set this up, definitely reach out. Do you have any questions on conversion tracking, Jack, and maybe even tracking other things?
No, it makes total sense. I mean, I just never was taught how to do it, but yeah.
Right. It's easy. I mean, when you do it in Google AdWords, like everyone kind of assumes that you have to. That's how I used to do it. It's really stressful because you got to deal with the code. But if you use Google Analytics, it's so simple. So do you have any questions on how to track any other stuff?
Well, what else should I be tracking besides that?
Phone calls are a very important one. So you can do that in Google Analytics through button clicks, which function the exact same way. So I can create another video on that, but after seeing what I just did, I encourage you to go in, try to set it up yourself. And then if you have questions on it, just reach out to me and then I'll help you out. But the best way to learn this stuff is to just do it, because once you do it yourself, and you realize how easy it all is, and then you can kind of blow through the rest of it.
Makes sense.
But great, man. Hope that was helpful to you. Definitely go through and do that for all of your ebooks. And if you have the time, I would definitely go in and set up different thank you pages for each one of those if you're doing Facebook ads. If you're not, then it doesn't matter too much right now.
Okay.
Cool. Sounds good, man. Well, thanks for letting me demonstrate that using your account. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Okay, hold on. I totally forgot to share something with you guys. I'm going to share my screen again real quick. Okay, very important stuff, or this is going to throw off all of your analytics. You want to make sure, if you did already set up any sort of conversion tracking Google AdWords, you want to make sure that those are turned off so you're not duplicating conversions. Otherwise, it can look like, oh my gosh, this campaign is getting like 40 conversions a day. And it could just mean that you have a conversion set up for page views. Okay, so make sure you're only tracking the metrics that are trackable, traceable back to revenue. Anything else is just going to skew your numbers and, again, become kind of vanity metrics that don't really mean anything but kind of look cool. So make sure that you're not duplicating your conversions. So that is it for goal tracking. All right. Sweet.